The sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows over the abandoned town of Hollow Creek. Once a bustling community, it had fallen silent after the outbreak, the day the dead refused to stay dead. Now, only whispers of the past remained, carried by the wind through broken windows and deserted streets. 18-year-old Lily had always been curious about the stories her grandfather told her about Hollow Creek's history, about the nights when the undead first rose, about survival and loss. He'd warned her to stay away from the old cemetery, where the disturbance was said to have begun, but her curiosity had only deepened with time. When her parents decided to leave and start anew elsewhere, Lily chose to stay behind with her grandfather, guarding their small house near the edge of town. It was a chilly dusk when she first saw them, the first figures shuffling from the shadows of the cemetery, their movements sluggish yet purposeful. Lily's heart hammered in her chest. She thought it was a trick of her mind, perhaps a stray animal or reflections in a puddle, until the figures moved closer and she realized they were zombies. She froze, watching as the undead staggered forward, their eyes vacant and mouths slack. One of them, a woman with a torn dress and tangled hair, stumbled past her porch, groaning softly. Lily's mind raced. She remembered her grandfather's warnings, but now fear gripped her with icy fingers. She knew she had to hide, but the house was too exposed. Any noise could spell disaster. Her grandfather, hearing the commotion, appeared at the door. "Lily, stay inside, don't make a sound," he whispered urgently. Together, they retreated to the basement, a small, damp space where they kept emergency supplies. The sounds of shuffling feet and low groans grew louder outside. Hours passed, each minute feeling like an eternity. Lily pressed her ear to the cold wall, trying to hear if the zombies had moved on. Outside, something shifted. A low, guttural growl pierced the silence. Her heart clenched. It was not just the undead but something else altogether. She remembered stories from her grandfather about the monsters that lurked in the darkness, feeding on the chaos. Suddenly, a faint light flickered through the cracks in the basement door. Lily pressed her face against the cold surface, straining to see. Shadows danced across the thin gap. Was someone else out there? Or was it the flickering of a dying flashlight? Fear and curiosity warred inside her. Then came the knock, soft, deliberate, and slow. Her grandfather's face grew pale. What could that be?" he whispered, clutching her hand tightly. Lily's mind spun. They had barricaded themselves, reinforced the door, and made sure their small hideout was secret. Who could be at the door in the middle of the night? The knocking paused. Silence stretched thick and oppressive. Then, a voice, muffled but desperate. "Please, let me in. I know you're there." Lily's heart skipped a beat. She recognized that voice, Sarah, her childhood friend. She had gone missing months ago during the chaos, swallowed by the outbreak. Now, somehow, she was alive, maybe even sane. Hope surged through Lily's veins. But her grandfather hesitated, wary of traps and deception. "There's no time," Lily urged. "It's Sarah. She's alive. She needs us." The basement door shuddered as the knocking resumed, more frantic this time. The pair exchanged worried glances. Her grandfather finally relented, pushing the door open just slightly. Sarah's face appeared, gaunt and dirt-streaked, eyes wide with desperation. "Help me," she gasped. "They're coming. The zombies, they're hunting for us. I saw them. There's a whole swarm near the old mill. I managed to escape, but I don't know how much longer I can hide." Lily's mind churned. Sarah's arrival was both a glimmer of hope and a dangerous signal. More zombies could be nearby, drawn to noise or movement. They had no idea what they were truly up against, but Sarah's presence meant they couldn't ignore the threat any longer. That night, the three of them huddled in the basement, planning their escape. Outside, the groans and shuffles persisted, a constant reminder that they were not alone. Lily clutched her grandfather's hand, feeling a mixture of fear, determination, and grief, mourning the world they once knew and fighting for a chance to survive in the chaos. At dawn, with only their wits and limited supplies, they stared up at the broken sky. The undead were still wandering, ever watchful. Every step outside could be their last. But Lily refused to let despair consume her. If hope still flickered in the darkness, maybe, just maybe, they could find a way out, away from the endless nightmare of the zombies, toward a life where the living could survive. As they crept into the shadows, a distant howl pierced the morning air, a chilling reminder that in this broken world, monsters were no longer confined to the dead. They had become something else entirely, something lurking just out of sight, waiting patiently for their next prey. And Lily knew, deep down, that the real horror had only just begun.